Wife's passion for the adventure was a phase, mine wasn't. How do I adapt to this? We met 9 years ago while traveling, and our early relationship revolved quite a bit around our passions: travel, rock climbing, long-distance hiking, generally outdoorsy/active stuff. When we'd talk about the future and the life we envisioned, it always incorporated these, or similar, things. Years have passed, we had good and bad times but made it through, and I'm happy we did. We moved countries, health got worse and then better, I started a business, we moved from poverty to a comfortable life and bought a country house in a mountain valley, by a beautiful river. With time, my wife slowly stopped participating in the stuff we used to do together. A sudden fear of height took climbing off the table. Hikes became too much for her, it's too cold out for a backcountry skiing expedition, and travel doesn't sound appealing because it's so beautiful back home, and I don't want to miss the changing seasons. It really is beautiful back home, and she seems so happy just reading on our porch overlooking the mountains or relaxing by the river. She also matured out of stuff like going to concerts and nights out, and would rather host a dinner for our friends. She loves this new, homely life, and building our family in this setting seems like a dream to her. All of this is lovely, and I wish it was enough for me. It's not that I hate this life, but I miss the sense of adventure we used to have. Now that kids are coming into the picture, I feel like the little that we still have left will soon go off the table. These days I try to pursue this passions with friends, separately from her. I just came back from a 3-day hiking trip without her. It was great, but I definitely missed her presence there. I climb in a climbing gym, but that's very different than a long expedition in the mountains. The kind of adventures we used to go on tend to take time. Some things just aren't doable as weekend activities, and beyond that, we're used to spending most of our time together, and doing something like going traveling for a long while without her feels unthinkable to me, and would probably be even more so after we have kids. I feel like forcing her into these things isn't an option. She just wouldn't enjoy it anymore, and that would make the whole thing's pointless. When we talk about it, she feels very guilty for making me give these things up, which makes me avoid the topic. On the other hand, I'm sad to have her separate from that part of my life, if I can even keep it, and I'm scared to resent her if I do give it up. I can already feel it starting. Is this just how life goes? What would we suggest that we do? Comment. One of the happiest marriages I know are a couple where the woman loves to travel to exotic places, go skiing, music festivals all over the world. Her husband likes to stay home or go to their mountain cabin and chill out. Neither begrudges the other their preferences. It's okay to go with friends or go alone. They have been married for 45 years and are still totally in love. Perhaps channel it into different things such as camping through the national parks. Continue on these separate trips so you feel fulfilled. It doesn't sound like she wants you to stop. She just is not into them. You two can work through this together. You never age out of concerts, WTF? I mean, the bands from your teen years are still touring and it's way more affordable now. I go to way more shows and concerts as an old lady, LOL. Adventures, traveling, life doesn't end at, OMG, recheck the post 30. You guys are young. It's possible she will want to do things later. I'm no longer into surfing, but I took up paddle boating. Kids cut into international travel, but I've been places nearby that were magical to explore. And why is individual travel off the table? I would rather my husband go travel alone or with a travel bud than A, drag me where I don't wanna be, or B, divorce me. You shouldn't have to give up your dreams and resent your wife, but marriage is about compromise, so you will definitely have to compromise on something if you love your wife and want to stay married. I don't agree with everything she says by any means, but Esther Pearl is very interesting to listen to about things like this. She is a couples therapist and she talks about how monogamy sometimes leads us to put too much pressure on the one to meet all of our needs all of the time throughout many years, and how what we expect of our partners becomes frankly unreasonable sometimes without us even realizing. It's okay to have separation sometimes. You don't need to do everything together in order for both of you to feel happy and fulfilled. Our individual interests and priorities change over time, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you aren't compatible or that she may have been faking enjoyment or anything like what people often jump to. Change is natural. It could be a phase for her, or not, but you probably need to work together to find new ways to share joy as a couple while also working to find joy in your own interests alone or with other people. I'm not suggesting cheating, to be clear, just making and celebrating friendships with people who like to do the same things you do. Maybe some of them even like dinner parties, too. Next story 2. My GF wants to get married. Am I crazy for being so anxious? In December last year, I met my GF online. She is from South Africa, I'm from Australia. We spent the holidays talking and fell for each other. I decided to fly to her to see if this is a relationship worth pursuing. I rented an Airbnb. She went back to her apartment to get some clothes and go see a doctor as she was sick. She was away the whole day. That night when she got back, I had a weird feeling and snooped through her phone whilst she was in the shower. I found out that she was still in a relationship with someone I had been told was an abusive ex. Upon confronting her, she told me she still's relying on him and wasn't actually dating him. It was obvious that they were, but for some reason I believed it. She got extremely upset with me invading her privacy, and I left it alone. For the second half of the trip I stayed at her apartment to save money. Whilst she was at uni, I saw her student ID, which had an entirely different name and degree printed on it. I confronted her on it, and she said that she told me false details as she didn't trust a man she had met on the internet with her name and personal details. She also has had issues with a stalker in the past. I got that and didn't want to push that more. I was upset she lied, but I get being a stranger from the internet, it makes sense. Furthermore, I also came to find out that her parents were alive and that she was of different ethnic background. She had told me she was an orphan but actually just estranged from her parents. I decided not to tell her that I knew this and just play out the last week of me being there as I had nowhere to go. Upon getting home, I told her I can't be in a relationship with someone I can't trust. She admits to everything and asks me to give her a chance. I say okay, but no more lies, or I'm done. She also tells me that she went out when I had flown home and had a big breakdown and got drunk and went partying. I decided to forgive it all and fly back to see her 2 months later. Upon getting back here, she states that she actually slept with someone that night I left. I was in shock and was frustrated that she waited until I flew back to tell me. She also told me she didn't want me to tell my therapist that she slept with someone as she would rather not be the villain. I had decided to forgive her for everything from the day she confessed. I guess that was a part of it. The issue is, she wants me to come support her for a year whilst she completes her community service, and we will need to get married for me to stay. Ever since she confessed, things have been good. I said I will forgive, but now that I'm going to have to put my career and life on hold and get married, I'm just so anxious. I do enjoy my time with her, but I can't shake this bad feeling. She wants me to propose before I go back to AUS. Is it okay to be this anxious? Or do I need to just move past this? Comment. Are you actually stupid? Pay attention to all the red flags she has been waving the entire time you've known her. She looks at you and only sees a gullible doormat. It is entirely reasonable to be anxious. Your gut instincts are telling you there are huge waving red flags to pay attention to here and that you shouldn't get married. Listen to your gut. This woman just wants a wallet, and has already lied to you multiple times to get what she wants from you. So I am going to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe you are not super experienced in relationships, or are someone that wants to believe the good in people, sometimes to your own detriment. Or some other reason that you are not seeing this situation for what it is. First, she already has one sugar daddy that pays for all her things and is looking for you to either replace him, or be another one. She wants you to put your career and life on hold to pay for her to do her thing. Second, she lies, admits it. Lies again. Admits it, lies again. Admits it. Oh yeah, and she cheated on you. To me this kind of feels like her trying to figure out how much you will put up with. Like, if she knows that she can lie to you all she wants, but just has to tell you about some of them and you are okay with it? She is going to do so. Please see her for what she is. She does not love you. She might not even like you. She is a manipulative liar and you would be doing yourself a huge disservice by staying in contact with her. The fact that things are good since she confessed is just part of the game she is playing. Making you believe that she is committed to you and that you are both starting on a clean slate. It is not a coincidence that she is doing thing while asking for you to support her. Cut all contact with her, do not even tell her you are doing so. This will give her an opening to manipulate you, which she has done a great job of doing so far. Seems to me that you're anxious because she's proven you can't trust her, shouldn't be with her and definitely shouldn't marry her. The question shouldn't be whether or not you should be anxious, it should be why are you going through with marriage or commitment at all to this person who appears to be using you.